Flying by. Do you know that we are just a few minutes, I think what we are about 15 minutes from midnight East Coast time, which means 15 minutes to that new Today Special, which we are super excited to share with all of you because we only get to do it once a year as a Today Special. It's the Marine Collagen Peptides, and it will be the lowest price ever. It's a new formula. It is the best value ever. It is amazing. We're so excited to talk about that. But there's more in our greatest hits hour. We're going to talk about Ultimate Eye Support. Yet it's so funny because I don't know if you put these shows together on purpose that I happen to take everything in the hours. I know I sound ridiculous when I say I take this, but I really do. I really do take all of these products. And the funny thing is I was never, ever a vitamin taker till Andrew came along. I really wasn't into vitamins. I didn't really pay much attention to vitamins. But working with you and learning, I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like I'm in this incredible classroom and I get to learn so much. And when you're armed with that knowledge, the last thing you want to do is ignore it. Right? And so now I know I'm your #1 customer. I'm quite sure I probably am Andrew's #1 customer. So I am a huge fan. This is another example of a product that I would not be without. It is the Ultimate Eye Support. Again, it's another one. If you have a minute to go read the reviews, there are, gosh, your average is 4.6 out of perfect 5. There's 1,700 reviews, and over 1,500, almost 1,600 of those are excellent reviews.
Yeah. No,
so there you go.
When you look at 1,700 reviews, 1,400 are 5-star reviews. So just to start with, over 80% of 5-star. All the products we've been talking about this hour are typically about 85% 5-star reviews. And again, these are products, we don't take out the bad reviews. Again, a question I'm constantly asked when people see me. Those reviews are the pure, unadulterated, expurgated, unmodified, uncensored reviews. That's just these products truly in all their glory, because that's when they're at their best. They're at their best. They're an opportunity if you use them. Otherwise, they're sort of an opportunity missed. And it's not an opportunity that I've created. Certainly, we make the product. But all I do with these products is I simply follow the science. When it comes to an eye product, long before anyone else talked about lutein and zeaxanthin, I was emphasizing their importance. Other companies ignored them because they're so expensive. You add a little bit of lutein and you take a basic eye product and you just tripled its price. You add a little bit of zeaxanthin, you just quadrupled or quintupled its price. But I couldn't in good conscience make a good eye product without lutein and zeaxanthin the moment they became available. I wanted to use them long before they were available as an ingredient because it was already clear in the clinical science that our retina, the part of our retina that protects our eye, the optical pigments in our eye that play this incredible role in creating vision and filtering vision and clarity of vision and how we adapt to light and dark and all of those things, it's lutein and zeaxanthin. Yes, they're ingredients in my product, but your body takes those ingredients and turns them into the lutein and zeaxanthin that are the optical pigments in your eye. When you look at the technical scientific name of the macular region of your eye, it's called the macula lutea. In Latin, that means yellow spot. That critical portion of our retina that's responsible for the core of our vision, that critical part of our retina, it's a yellow spot. Why? Because lutein and zeaxanthin are bright yellow. So our body takes what little lutein and zeaxanthin we provide in our diet, pretty much almost none, and it concentrates it in the retina. So if you want to give your body this most critical part of the optical components of the visual centers in our eye, the retina and the macular region of our eye, it's lutein and zeaxanthin. And most products, some now do it, obviously, but back when I introduced lutein and zeaxanthin well over a decade ago, no one else was doing it.
There we go. Let me show you what the choices are: 30, a 60, a 180, or a 360 size. Remember, all of this pricing goes away after this visit, and this is it. This is the final home stretch of Andrew's visit. So you choose the size. Here is our regular HSN pricing. Here's our birthday pricing for you tonight. And here you can see the savings across the board. The larger ones are always on FlexPay. So you have FlexPays available here. The key to this, of course, is that this is another example of a notice the difference, see the difference product when you take it. And if you are I think most of us are interested in keeping our eyes as healthy as possible. And the fact that I notice my eyes even feel differently when I take this. So, and if you have a minute to read the reviews, you will see what people share. And it's really fun because Andrew's customers in particular are so just meticulous about those reviews. They take the time, they really want to share their experiences. I think they really want to sing the praises praises, because I think we're all pretty impressed when a vitamin product delivers the kind of results that we all get to experience with products like this. But this is one of those products, and the key to this, of course, is that the ingredients in this product, we are not getting in the amounts in our diet that we would need in order to see the kind of benefits we see with this. And that's what's critical about it. If you're saying, well, you know, I eat healthy, I'm doing healthy things, a lot of us think that, but then when you see what's actually in this product, you realize no wonder it works, because I'm really not getting these ingredients, or certainly the amounts of ingredients in our diet. Right, Andrew?
Absolutely, yes. I was just figuring we're one of our products we were going to talk about later, we won't be able to talk about because we don't have, it's already, it just disappeared.
Oh my gosh, oh wow.
The ALC we're going to talk about.
Okay.
But speaking exactly to the point you were making about availability in our diet, if we look at zeaxanthin, which zeaxanthin really is the core of the macular region. That's the optical pigments in the core of the macular region of our retina. The lutein tends to surround it, and they really are the most important single nutrient component. Omega-3s, certainly DHA is the most concentrated in the optical, in the macula and the retina of our eye. But those fatty acids, that's where lutein and zeaxanthin are sort of swimming in those fats. They're both fat soluble. But if we look at zeaxanthin's availability in our diet, you'd have to get the same amount of zeaxanthin as you get in a daily supply of Ultimate Eye. You're looking at 6 cups of cooked corn, 15 cups of collard greens, which, by the way, corn, ever since high fructose corn syrup, corn itself has gotten a bad name.
You're right.
If you're eating non-GMO corn, organic non-GMO corn, it's good stuff.
Sure.
And especially, I love a healthy, wonderful, especially in the summer, I love corn on the cob, just love it. So a great source of zeaxanthin and lutein. Cooked collard greens, 15 cups. Cooked spinach, 16 cups. Orange juice, 25 cups. Raw spinach, 27 cups. Romaine lettuce, 47.5. So
wow.
Basically, the upshot is, if you look at the typical diet, you get about a milligram or 2 a day of lutein and zeaxanthin. You get very little. This product, you're getting 15 milligrams daily. So you basically get the equivalent of about 10 days of dietary supply in a single day. And that's why I often say, even if your budget made this challenging, you could have one of these capsules every other day. You could have 2 capsules a week, and it still is going to multiply your intake of lutein and zeaxanthin. Then, as I said, with omega-3s, there's no escaping the fact that our body can't make lutein and zeaxanthin. There's no escaping the fact that they define the macula lutea. They define the macular region of their eye. Their appearance is what your macular region looks like. So they are the optical pigments. They're necessary for creating images. They're necessary for filtering the light. They're necessary for protecting tissues from damaging light. But if you don't get them in your diet, you don't get them adequately or abundantly to protect all those things that are precious in our vision.
That's it. So you decide the size you'd like. If you aren't taking this yet, try it. You'll be so impressed with it. If you are taking it, remember, because it's the last time, Andrew, this is basically the last day of his visit. This is your last chance to stock up on all of these wonderful products. So if you're getting low on anything, Andrew's not back now until mid-October. That will be his next visit. We don't have a remote in between or anything like that. So this is it. This is the last chance to lock in all these great. We always keep everything available on hsn.com, but the special pricing happens during Andrew Lessman's visits. So that's where we always kind of wait, and that's why I'm encouraging you. It's a really good time to stock up if you're getting low on your Ultimate Eye Support. So you're deciding a 30, a 60, a 180, a 360. It's that easy. And the nicest part is, you know, when you shop with us, you have a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. So get it home, give it a try. Not only are Andrew's products our top selling products, but they are the lowest return products as well. So this is something that we know you're going to be pleased with. This is a huge reorder product also here at HSN. It's one that once you start taking it, the product, it's funny because we always kind of joke about the fact these products really sell themselves. Because once you get them and use them, that's really what makes people get excited and want to come back. We love to come for the education Andrew gives us, but it's really about these products that deliver they truly deliver the benefits that you share with us.
And what is that saying? Ignorance is bliss, which we all know ignorance is never bliss. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is critical for health, critical for success. And with any of my products, certainly you could read the information on the label, you could do scientific research online. But again, as I said before, the reviews, and we don't pull out the bad reviews, so whether it was Ultimate Eye or omega-3s or circulation vein, whatever it might be, ignorance isn't bliss. And when you discover how 85, 90, 95% of the people experience these products, you don't see reviews like that for great restaurants or the best novels ever written or the best movie ever produced. You don't see that kind of unanimous positive opinion. And the last place you expect a unanimous positive opinion is with a dietary supplement. We figure we're all different, but the biochemistry that all these products relate to, we're all the same. And that's one of the things that the more you study science and biochemistry, the more that you realize as human beings we might all move through the world differently, but we all share the same blueprint on the inside. And that's why these products, they follow the science, they follow the research, and they're done in a way that's going to be mild. They're not going to upset your stomach. All we deliver with my products are benefits. We don't deliver problems.
Here we go. There's one more product that works hand in hand with this that I know